What's up, what's going on, legends? It's your boy Errl Shatter here, and in today's video we're jumping into the Warzone. Today we're going to be talking about the absolutely dominant MAC-10 SMG. Now, if you guys haven't been using this at this point, you guys have been asleep for all of Season 1 because this thing is pretty much the meta. Now, it has received a nerf, so it's not quite as good as it was at the beginning of Season 1. Absolutely still just reigns terror. Obviously, there was an issue where one of the blueprints was broken. It's now since been addressed, so everything's performing pretty much the way it's supposed to. And you know what? Again, this thing still dominates. However, it does have some competitive, SMGs still in its category, and that being like the MP5 from Cold War. And I also really like the AK-74U as well. There's some really good SMGs out there. This is definitely in the top 3, 100%, no question. Might even still be number 1. So we are going to cover, obviously, today as well, a best class setup or loadout that you guys should be using at this point. This is obviously most recent. Season 1 Reloaded is already kind of came out. We're at mid-season at this point. So you guys just want to make sure you guys are using the right attachments, or maybe you guys don't know what attachments to be running, period. You've come to the right place. We're going to address that here today as well. We go absolutely off in the gameplay today. We use the MAC-10 as much as possible. This thing comes in clutch in chaotic situations where there's multiple opponents. You have a really large magazine. It's a laser beam. I mean, it just dominates close quarters. You'd be crazy not to be running this on at least one of your loadouts at this point, and you guys are going to regret it if you haven't used this at this point either. You guys are going to want to make sure you throw together the attachments I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, one of which is a little bit bugged, and we're going to talk about that as well. So you guys are going to want to make sure you take advantage of this, because at some point they're going to fix the attachments in this game, and things are going to perform very differently than they do now. Maybe they never address it, maybe they allow things to be broken forever, but that's not what I'm expecting, because essentially at this point none of the attachments function as they are intended, or at least a lot of them don't. So no one's really sure what to be running on any of the weapons from Cold War unless they've done some testing or have some sort of backing behind that. But before we jump into the rest of the video here, I share with you guys the best class setup or loadout with this weapon. If you guys do enjoy this video at any time or find this video helpful in any way, make sure you show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Let's go ahead and throw an easy goal of 30 likes on today's video, as well as if you guys want to find your way back to the channel for more Cold War and Warzone content, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button alongside that notification bell so we don't miss you in future videos. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the attachments that we're using on our MAC-10 loadout. Alrighty, so before we jump into the attachments here with our MAC-10, let's go ahead and go over the rest of the loadout real quick here. For the primary weapon, we're running the QBZ-83. I plan on addressing this in a future video with a best loadout or class setup for you guys. For our perks, we have the EOD, Overkill, of course, and Battle Hardened. For lethal, we have the C4. Obviously, a Semtex is a great option as well. And then for our tactical, we have the Stun Grenade. So let's go ahead and jump to the attachments with our MAC-10, which include, for our barrel, we have the 5.9-inch Task Force. Now, the negatives of horizontal recoil control are not present in Warzone at this point. It's not 100%, obviously, as accurate as it should be. So this barrel doesn't function 100% like you normally would think. Therefore, the negatives aren't really present, making this absolutely the best barrel to go with. For the stock, we have the SAS Combat Stock, which absolutely breaks your strafing speed. I think at some point they're going to have to fix this attachment. There's no way it was intended to work this way, and you guys will greatly notice the difference if you guys actually have this equipped. For our rear grip, we have the SASR Jungle Grip. For our ammunition, the Stanag 53 round drum. Obviously, 53 rounds on an SMG is insane, so you're going to absolutely want to make sure you have this attachment, because it's going to help you in those engagements where you have multiple opponents. Maybe it's 2 people, 3 people, a whole squad, it doesn't matter. This thing will dominate. For our last attachment, for our underbarrel, we have the Striker Grip. Now, real quickly, I just want to go over this. Obviously, for the Striker Grip, it does claim that it helps melee quickness. It definitely doesn't help that much. It's not why we're using it. It's not even relevant to why we're running it. So actually, instead, the Field Agent Grip advertises vertical recoil control and horizontal recoil control. You're actually going to get recoil control from the Striker Grip. Makes no sense at all, but that's why we're running it, in case you guys are curious. The attachments do not function the way they're supposed to in this game, and eventually I expect that to change. So I'm pretty much under the impression if you guys go out there and throw this loadout together, you guys will not regret it. I think overall some of these attachments will probably get fixed in the future. Maybe they won't touch them at all, but this thing absolutely slays. It's very interesting to see some attachments that are working in a way that they're not designed to, and vice versa. Make sure you guys go out there and level this baby up. I can't tell you guys enough how reliable this thing is. You guys will be good using, the MAC-10 was the top choice. Obviously, like the MP5 from Cold War, and even maybe the AK-74U. And there's also many other Modern Warfare SMGs as well. There's plenty of great options. This is definitely one of the top ones, and I highly suggest you guys give it a shot if you haven't at this point. If you guys, for some reason, haven't leveled this thing up enough to have all these attachments, put in the effort, jump into a plunger match, and just make it happen. You guys will absolutely not regret it. You guys are going to see in the gameplay I'm sharing with you guys today, we absolutely dominate, and you guys can as well. Although at one point, this thing was absolutely broken and it received a nerf, I think it's a little bit more balanced with some of the other options. However, it is super easy to use, super easy to control the recoil, and I think that's just kind of why it stands out as the #1 weapon that people choose. You guys will absolutely, like I said, not go wrong by choosing the MAC-10 with your loadout. And obviously, it's good to have a very reliable secondary when you're out there in the Warzone. That's going to wrap things up for us here. Hopefully, you guys do enjoy the rest of the gameplay I'm going to leave you guys with here. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support on the channel. Make sure you guys go out there and give this thing a shot for yourselves. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Saved your ass.
We're gonna win this, boys. There, we got plenty of space to go this way.
Here I go. Less than 10 enemies remain.
Up top right there.
Setting weight. Got gas moving in. Move it. Target. Moving. Contact. Contact. Less than 5 to go. Bring home the win. Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Let's go.
Gas is moving.
Where?
Primary objective complete. Good work out there.
Let's go. Easy dub. How many? I think we got at least 20. I would hope. Yeah, we actually did pretty good. Our teammate quit, so we can't see his kills. But without him, we got 28.